Hi everybody. So yesterday you looked at 1/2 and 1/4. Today you're going to be showing your understanding of 2/4 and 3/4. So by the end of today's lesson, I want you to be able to recognise 2/4 and 3/4 as a fraction, find 2/4 and 3/4 of a shape, find 2/4 and 3/4 of a length, and find 2/4 and 3/4 of a quantity. Let's start by looking at 2/4. This is what 2/4 looks like as a fraction, written as a fraction. So remember, that means that we've split our whole into 4 equal pieces and I've got 2 of them. So let's do that. Let's split our whole pizza into 4 equal pieces. And if you've got 2 of them, let's shade in 2 of them. You might notice that that looks very similar to another fraction. Here I've split my whole into 2 equal pieces and I've got 1 of them. That's 1/2. Can you see this is 1/2 of the pizza? Can you see how I've got exactly the same amounts between my 1/2 of this pizza and my 2/4 of this pizza? 1/2 and 2/4 are exactly the same amounts. 1 out of 2 and 2 out of 4 is the same amount. So when we're talking about 2/4, 2/4 is the same as 1/2. If I want to split this square into 2/4, I need to split my whole into 4 equal parts. And 2/4 means 2 out of 4. Split my whole into 4 equal parts. I've got 2 of them. So I need to shade in how many I've got. I could shade in 2. Doesn't matter which 2 you shade in, as long as you're showing you've got 2 out of 4. Can you see I've shaded in 2 out of 4 equal parts? Again, this is the same as 1/2. What is 2/4 of 24 centimetres? So I'm going to find 24 centimetres on the ruler. There is 24 centimetres. So I need to split 24 centimetres into 4 equal parts. I'm going to count in 4s until I get to 24 to see how many 4s there are in 24. Four, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 4s in 24. That means to split 24 into 4 equal parts, I need to split it every 6. Can you see I've now got 4 equal parts? 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I want to find 2 out of 4 equal parts, because I'm finding a fraction of a length, I'm finding a fraction of the amount 24, I need to find the first two parts. Here's one part and here's another part. That takes me to the number 12. So 2/4 of 24 is 12. Centimetres. You can also see if I take away the lines, 2/4 is the same as a half. Can you see that I have split 24 centimetres in half? If I take away the 4 lines, I can show you that I've split 24 centimetres into 2 equal parts. Here's one part and here's another part. So 24, half of 24 is 12. Here are 12 children. I'm going to find 2/4 of 12. 2/4 of 12. So I need to split the group into 4 equal parts. So I'm going to start by thinking, how many 4s are there in 12? 4, 8, 12. I counted in 4s 3 times to get to 12. So I need to split them into equal groups of 3. Can you see I've got 4 equal groups now? 2/4 would mean I've got 2 out of the 4 equal groups. Can you see that 2/4 of 12 is 6? You can also see that if I take away these 2 lines, that 2/4 is the same as half. Half of 12 is 6. Okay, now let's look at the fraction 3/4. 3/4 is written like this: 3 out of 4 equal pieces. So I've split my whole into 4 equal pieces and I've got 3 of them. So here's my pizza. I'm going to split my pizza into 4 equal pieces. And if I've got 3 of them, it doesn't matter which 3 I have, but I'm going to shade in 3. 3 out of 4 equal pieces. Can you see that this fraction is not the same as a half? Because 1/2 of the pizza would be this part, or this part. You can see it's more than a half. You've got an extra part than you would if you had a half. I could also split this chocolate bar into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I've got 3/4, I've split the whole into 4 equal parts and I've got 3 of them, so I can shade in 3. It doesn't matter which 3 of the parts you shade in, as long as you're showing you have got 3 out of 4. Let's try and find 3/4 of 16. Here are 16 centimetres. If If I want to find 3/4, I need to split 16 centimetres into 4 equal pieces. So how many 4s are in 16? 4, 8, 12, 16. I counted 4 times when I counted in 4s. There are 4 4s in 16. So I need to split every time I get to 4. Can you see I've split it into quarters because I've split it into 4 equal parts? If I want to find 3/4 of 16 centimetres, I need to highlight 3 and see what that takes me to. 12. 3/4 of 16 is 12. Let's look at 3/4 of a quantity. Here are 12 children. If I want to split them into 4 equal groups, to find 3 out of the 4 equal groups, I need to think about how many 4s are in 12. 4, 8, 12. So I need to split every time I get to 3 because there are 3 4s in 12. Okay, every time I get to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you see I have made 4 equal groups? If I'm going to find 3/4, I'm going to shade in 3 of my groups. And you can see I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 children. 3/4 of 12 is 9. You could do this when looking at a fraction of a length as well, if you are finding that tricky. Okay, dragonflies and butterflies, now it's your turn. So I would like you to have a go at the questions on the website, where you can have a think about which fractions are represented by the different shapes and write out the fraction. Shade 2/4 or 3/4 of a given shape. Remember that 2/4 is the same as 1/2. You also have to have a go at finding fractions of lengths or fractions of quantities. Have a go. If you are finding it tricky, you can email your teacher or just do the shape part at the top of the sheet. If you're feeling confident, do all of the sheets and let your teacher know so that we know how to help you for tomorrow. Don't forget to tell your teacher what you've managed to do today. So on your learning journal, you can assess against your success criteria. So success criteria 1, are you able to recognise 2/4 and 3/4 as a fraction? Success criteria 2, can you find 2/4 and 3/4 of a shape? Success criteria 3, can you find 2/4 and 3/4 of a length? And success criteria 4, can you find 2/4 and 3/4 of a quantity? Well done, children. I can't wait to see your work.